I will demonstrate configuring the lines that can show in a text chart. Here I have a text that I've begun charting, and it's showing what normally shows. Here's the chart with words in the different columns, and at the bottom is the text ribbon showing the word and the word gloss. But here, a lot of my words have stars. I don't have a word gloss for some of them. So wouldn't it be nice to show more lines? Now, what lines am I talking about? Let's go back to the Analyze tab. And here on this tab, you've got a lot of rows. You have the morpheme breakdown, you have the lexical entry for each morpheme, the gloss of each morpheme, the grammatical info of each morpheme. And then in blue, you have the words that do relate to the corpus. They are words that are in your text and may or may not be in the dictionary. So wouldn't it be nice to have some of these rows show in the text chart? Now keep in mind, purple is for things from the lexicon, blue is for things from the corpus word list, and they're two different lists. Okay, let's go back to the text chart. So here we can see the word and the word gloss showing in both the text ribbon and in the chart. But there is a command under the tools menu to configure the interlinear, and that applies even in the text chart. And so here you see all of the rows that were in the Analyze tab. Now, if you want them in the same order as the Analyze tab, you can move this block up. So you have the baseline word at the top, and then all the lexical entries, and then the word gloss. Now, let's keep it the way that it was. But now I want to see the lexical entries for each morpheme. I want the morpheme breakdown, and I don't just want the surface morphemes, I actually want the dictionary entry for it. So I will tick the Lex Entries box, and then I want the Lex Gloss. So let me choose those. And now there are more rows showing. Now, the columns get awfully tall and skinny, so you may need to move things around a bit, spread the chart out, make it a bit wider. And then you can see things spread out, taking just one row per word. So here we have the lexical entry for each morpheme, and we have the gloss for each morpheme. And in the text ribbon, once you resize it, you can see that all of those things are there as well. And again, remember, we could reorder these if we wanted to. Now, in the future, we hope that we can move a single morpheme to a different cell. At the moment, we cannot do that. At the moment, we can only move entire words, but that's a feature that we hope will come in the future. Now, what else can we do with this configuration? What if there's more than one writing system for the vernacular? Let's go back to our menu to configure. And these different columns here are for the different writing systems. So in this project, I have two different orthographies for the Quechua data. One is the old orthography and the other is the new orthography. So if I want to see the lexical entries in both, I can tick the box in the column for the new orthography. Now this will only work if that field is actually filled in the lexicon. But let me go ahead and tick that box and let's see what we got. And so here we see there are two rows with vernacular, and the top one has the K and the bottom one has the C. And so that's part of the orthography difference. And again, over here, the Q versus the J. And in this case, you can see that I did not fill in the new orthography for this root. And so being able to see both assumes that you have actually filled both in. But that's how you can see two different writing systems for the vernacular words that are in the lexicon. Now, what about the gloss? Let me go back to configure. I will turn off that. Maybe I want to see the gloss in both English and Spanish. So again, I have two analysis writing systems. So I will tick the box in the Spanish column for the Lex Gloss. I will click OK. And now we see the glosses in Spanish wherever they occur. I will make this a bit wider. Now, some of them don't have the Spanish gloss filled in, so those will be blank. So if you were publishing this for a Spanish audience, you would want to double check and make sure that the Spanish gloss was filled in for everything in your text. But that's the way that you can see more than one writing system. And that's the way that you can configure different rows in the text chart.